Okay, so basically, right, I am not a fan of Pokemon. Okay, no, that's a lie. I'm not a fan of the Pokemon games. The only game that I ever played was, I think, X and Y, and since then, I haven't really played any other games. But I am a pretty big fan of the IP. More specifically, I have watched all of the anime up until Generation 6. So, and I mean, I don't keep up with it as much as I used to, but I would say I'm not a mega fan, but I like Pokemon, right? I thought I would make a video where I rank the starters based on how cool I think they look, because I don't know what else to really film right now. So yeah. Now, the reason I think this is interesting is because I have a pretty unbiased opinion on a lot of these, except for ones which are my favorite, of course. But I'm not gonna be ranking them based on like how they are in game, because like I said before, I don't play the games. So the TCG or the competitive, I guess, mechanics, all of that doesn't count. I'm just basing it this off by looks. And as you will find out, I don't really know. I think up until maybe Generation 6 and a little bit of 7, I don't know anything afterwards. So like from here onwards, I have no idea what the hell any of this is. So yeah, let's just start. Okay, Venusaur. Now, have to say that I would say the design is actually pretty nice. Okay, so I think that you are immediately comparing Charizard and Blastoise in Generation 1, right? I think they're the biggest heavy hitters, right? But if I'm being completely honest, I think the design of Charizard is not as good as people make it out to be because right? What's basically happening here is that um these are all based on okay, so because in the beginning, right, they were just figuring stuff out. You have to think about, okay, what are they basing this designs on, and how much I guess and how much I guess can how cool can they actually make these Pokemon based on those designs, right? And for this one, for me, so I have no idea what they based the design of, right? I mean, I've seen the flower, but I don't know what the I guess the animal is supposed to be, right? Even Bulbasaur, I have no idea what animal is supposed to be. But if you look at Charizard, this is actually quite simple because they're just based on a dragon. Like, I'm sorry, but like it isn't like they I don't really think that there needs to be a lot of thought process to make a cool dragon, because you can just search up dragons like on dragon art on Google Images and it will show up with pretty cool art, right? So, and that's not me saying that I think the design is bad, but I'm saying that it's not hard to come up with a design like this. So it's simple. I think the coolest part of the design is the tail being on fire. I think that's pretty cool. So for that, I think it has to be here. Maybe you could actually move this one down, but I don't think this is S. S would be like a generation design. I don't think this is a generation design. This is the first one that they did, so they were experimenting, right? On that same note, though, I think the Blastoise design is actually better than Charizard because they based this on a turtle, right? And they had to, I guess, make a turtle look cool, as in like look cool as in like it looks cool like a dragon does, and I think they did a pretty good job. So I would actually say this is better than Charizard, in my opinion. Of course, I mean I'm the one making the video, right? Do I want to rank the X and Y versions? No, let's not do that. I can we can come back to that later. Um, let's also not rank the megas either. Okay, so Meganium. Okay. Okay, so first of all, I'm pretty sure Meganium is supposed to be like not that good in uh like the game, right? It has bad stats or whatever, right? I don't know. I never play the games like that. But I would have to say that design is actually not that good. I mean, this is just like I guess a dinosaur with like a flower in his head with two I don't know, antennas or whatever, right? I don't feel like that is a lot of creativity. Maybe you could say that I'm wrong, but I would say that you are wrong. So, that's a stalemate right there. I don't think that this is like generational design. and I think it's actually worse than Venusaur in terms of. Okay, I think Venusaur. I think Meganium looks cooler than Venusaur does, in my opinion. But the thing is, right, you have to be a little bit more objective about this. So I think in terms of the design, the Meganium design is just more basic. It's basically like Charizard's, but I feel like Charizard also has a good basis to go on. Like it's a lizard or dragon or whatever, right? So it automatically makes it kind of better, right? Um, Quilava, no, sorry, not Quilava, Typhlosion. Okay, so hmm, this could be S worthy. I don't know what they were, thinking when they made this, but they really cooked with this design. I have to say, like, this was super sick. I don't know what this on the back is supposed to be, like the fire entrails or whatever coming out. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. Like, is it a real fire? Because fire doesn't look like that, right? Um, so because fire is not spiky like this, right? So I'm curious about what this is meant to be, but it looks cool. I think S is fine. Yeah. To be honest, I really think Blastoise design is just really good, and I wouldn't have any problems moving it to S. But by that logic, you would have to move Charizard to S as well, because you can make the argument Charizard is better than Blastoise. So I'm not gonna move Blastoise up. Okay, so for Alligator, okay, I'm sorry, but I don't really think this is that good. Sorry, not good. I mean, the designs are good. I just don't think they're cool. Um, I think Totodile and Chikorita, they had a lot of potential in terms of. I think these two are awesome looking, right? Actually, no, same with uh what's his name? Typhlosion, Quilava, and I'm so stupid. I forgot his bloody name. Yeah, Cyndaquil, Cyndaquil. I think they're all actually pretty good, but the problem is that I think that Cyndaquil's design gets better over time, but Chikorita, especially, I think, kind of has a basic design, and Totodile moves away from it's a cute Pokemon to something kind of not even in between. It's just kind of not cute at all. But I think it looks kind of awkward. I don't know. I don't really like it. Okay, so okay, so let's move on. Sceptile. Okay. I actually think Generation 3 actually had some banger starter Pokemon. I would actually say that Sceptile is actually pretty nice. In my opinion, he's my favorite out of the three, but I'm pretty sure Blaziken has more. People like Blaziken more. I'm biased, so I have to not put him at S, but I'll say A. I think the design is very nice. I don't know what this is based on either, but it's very creative to have a tail, which is just, I guess, a tree, right? I don't know what these bulbs are supposed to be, but it looks cool. Um, so yeah. On a second note, I think the Mega just makes it much better, right? Same with the Mega for Blastoise. Actually, no, I would say the Mega for Sceptile is probably one of the best Megas ever. Okay, Blaziken. Um, I think this has to be S. Even though I don't like it, I can see the appeal. Like, this is super sick looking. Yeah, 100% nice. I don't think there's much needs to be said. Swampert. Okay, so Swampert and I think Mudkip. Yeah, Mudkip. Sorry, Mudkip and Totodile had the same, I guess, start, right. They're both cute Pokemon, and when they, I guess, evolve, they turn into something that's a little bit more like menacing, right? But I think Swampert pulls it off better than Feraligatr does, in my opinion. Like, the design also looks pretty nice. So I would say, look, I think it's actually pretty nice. I think this is a design. Yeah. Okay. Third, Torterra. Okay, so to be honest, you could easily just compare Venusaur and Torterra designs and just ask which one is better. I would have to begrudgingly say that Torterra's design is better because I feel like there's a little bit more going on in terms of the colors, so I think it looks cooler. Um, Mostly on the body, like the back of both of them look pretty identical in terms of how much is going on and how cool they are. Like you could easily pick one over the other. I can know you would most likely pick Venusaur because I think there's more going on. But I think the body of Torterra, there's just more going on with, except with Venusaur, there's only one color, right? I think it just looks a little bit bland. That's actually the idea. That's also why I'm saying that some of them are a little bit basic looking, like Meganium. Like there's only two main colors, right? Like if you remove this flower, whatever, then it just then Meganium would just look really awkward, right? That's pretty much the problem that I'm trying to talk about. That's same with Charizard. It's only a couple of colors. Um, but yeah. Um, do you want to move this up actually? I cannot. Let's keep it here for now. Infernape. Okay. I am not biased for this one because I don't have any like attachment to Infernape, but I think this is also as design. Like I mean, this just looks super sick. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay. Empoleon. Okay. Now I am biased for this one. I am biased for this one, and I would say that this is also S. This is the first water type in S. And I think the reason why is because this is a penguin, right? And they made a penguin look really cool. I think the Piplup line is really awesome in general because the first, I guess, evolution in it, so not the evolution, the starter, right, is cute looking and it has a lot of, in the anime, right, this was Dawn's Piplup and it has a lot of, like, it's very popular, like, Piplup is very popular. There's some Pokemon here whose, the starter is actually more popular than, I guess, the end form, right? I think the biggest example might be Oshawott, right, from Ash's Oshawott in the anime I'm talking about, maybe Torchic as well, maybe Chikorita, and Piplup. But I think Piplup's line is one of the few where, in my opinion, I think the end line, as in the evolution, also looks extremely cool as well. Um, whilst the starter is also extremely popular. You could even say the starter is more popular than the final evolution. I think, anyways. I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, I think it has to be yes. Um, okay, so uh, now, if I'm being completely honest, I think Generation 5 was a little bit awkward in its starters, in my opinion. I think that Serpedia, right? Not Servant, Serpedia, I think is a little bit lackluster, in my opinion. Yeah, it just looks a bit weird. Like, it looks kind of awkward. Like, there's something missing about the design. I think this cloak, like this looks like this is a cloth or something, right? I think this looks cool, but it just looks like it's missing something. Like this feels incomplete. Yeah, it doesn't look right. Yeah, I don't really like it. I think you could improve this. I don't know how, but I don't think it looks that cool. Yeah, I think Sanabi looks much better. I think it's because of the legs and the arms, right? Um, Serpedia loses them, that it might look a bit weird potentially. Okay, so Amber. Now I'm gonna be honest. I don't actually like these kind of Pokemon, the ones which are more rugged and I guess threatening, right? So I don't like Pokemon who look like that. So Venusaur, Torterra, Blastoise, Amber. Like I don't really like the design of Feraligatr, Swampert as well. I like the ones which are a little bit more like fast or like sleek, right? But I have to say Amber is actually pretty good, nice design. So this is probably very high. You know what? I'm gonna move Charizard all the way to the end. Like, how are you? Cannot seriously tell me that Charizard is a better design than all of these four, right? I just don't see that being the case. I just don't think it's not. I just think it's not. I think Charizard's X and Y makes it better. But yeah. Okay, Samurott. Now, I actually really like the design for this. I'm not gonna lie. I'll say A. I want to say S, but I don't think this is very popular. And plus, I just feel like you could improve this a little bit. I don't know how you could improve it, but I just feel like there's some more stuff you could do to it. Yeah. Okay. Um. What's this guy's name? Chestnut. Yeah. Okay. Chestnut. Mm, again, I guess I'm biased here. I think this is also B. You know what? It has potential to be A as well, actually. I'll say A. I think it looks very nice. I don't know what it's meant to be though, but it looks good. Delphox. Okay, so basically, right. Basically, um, I think that Pokemon look best when they are over some animal, right? Some animal design. And oh, it's fine. And they are Pokemon which are a little bit more humanoid, right? Like that's fine. But I think the problem that I have with Delphox is that if you look at it, the thing that pops out first to you is not whether she's a fox or like he, right? Is that they are a witch. Like that's the most striking characteristic. And what is a witch? A witch is a person, like that's a human. A witch is not like an animal or something, right? And that makes it feel a little bit awkward to me. Like I don't think that's why I don't really like the Delphox line. I think it starts out fine with Fennekin, right? But and even I think Brixen, I think is also fine. But the final evolution just feels a bit awkward in my opinion. Like it looks too humanoid, I think. Um, yeah, so I don't really like it. Like it feels like this is a human. This is like a human, a Pokemon, right? So yeah, I don't really like it. Um, yeah. Okay, Greninja. Okay, so I am really biased for this one, but this has to be S. I don't think anyone would disagree with me that this is an elite design. The inspiration behind this is a frog and a ninja. Oh, I just realized I'm stupid. This I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that every starter Pokemon are meant to be based on something, right? Some, I guess, theme. And I think Generation 6 was based around like classes in like MMO or something, right? Something like that. And he's meant to be a ninja. Delphox is meant to be a witch, and then Chestnut is meant to be, I don't know, like a warden or something. I don't know actually what Chestnut is meant to be maybe a tank. So in that line of thinking, it makes sense that Delphox actually looks so humanoid. But still, I don't really like it. But I think they did a decent job in Greninja. Like, he's a ninja, right? But the frog elements of him stand out the most, in my opinion. Right? Like, what okay, let's I guess in another way to think about it, the elements about Delphos, which are forks, are just her ears and I guess the face, right? I think that's pretty much it. Um, but whereas for Greninja, it's his hands, it's his mouth, right, face as well, maybe potentially. I don't know. I think the Greninja, and plus, I mean, aside from all of that, Greninja just a very good design all around. I think it's a legendary design. Maybe the best designed evolution, final evolution, potentially. It depends. I personally think so. Okay, I think I'm gonna start freaking butchering the names. I can not butchering. I don't really know some of these names going forward, so bear with me. Um, Decidueye. Now I'm biased here as well, but I love Decidueye. So I love the Rowlet line. I think Rowlet is super sick. Rowlet is probably my favorite starter Pokemon because I think it looks super sick. But I think that Decidueye is probably here. I think from here Incineroar is actually a better design, right? I don't think I would disagree with that. See, the thing, you know what it is? Actually, I feel like a hypocrite now because this also looks very human, right? Human-like. This is obviously from like wrestling or whatever, right? Um, so I don't know, wrestling or MMA or something like that. I don't really know. I don't follow sports like that, but that is pretty much the inspiration. So it does look more humanoid than a Pokemon. You know what? I have to judge it based on the same characteristics. So let's move both of them up. Actually, I can know. If I'm being honest, the designs are better than all the ones here. So I have to move them up. Yeah. Let's do that. I think that's probably fair. Even though I can like Incineroar's design more, I think that if I'm judging Delphox based on the same logic as Incineroar, then I have to put them all in the same spot, and I would rather compromise than put Incineroar in S because that would mean I would have to put Delphox in A as well. Yeah. Um, let's say this is US in A as well, actually. Um, Primarina, I think this Pokemon's name is. Yeah, Primarina. I think this Pokemon is also pretty sick looking. Yeah, this is also a quality design. Yeah, I think this S. Okay, I think this is Drillaboom, right? Drillaboom, yep. Drillaboom. I don't like this kind of Pokemon, so I'm already biased. You know what? From this point on, what you can say is that since I actually don't really know a lot of this, right? My opinions would be a lot more unbiased because I really have no thoughts about them, so I'm judging them both or only on the design. I would say Drillaboom is. Hmm, it doesn't look like a starter Pokemon. Although that's normal, to be honest. You get used to them after a while. I would say, yeah, I would say B. Maybe here. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. I think this one is Cinderace, right? Yeah, Cinderace. Now, I like Cinderace, I'm not gonna lie. I think I played a little bit of Pokemon Smite or whatever. I don't know what I don't know what the game Pokemon Unite, not Smite. But it always feels Cinderace always threw me up because it feels like a like this. It feels like this evolution left. Like this feels like a second evolution, not a final evolution. So I don't like it, but I think in terms of the design, it's pretty good. I'll say here. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Inteleon. Um, I actually, if I were to pick from Generation 8, I would pick Cinderace over these two, or Inteleon. I don't really like any of them, to be honest. I would say, yeah. Okay, no, I'm being too biased. I have to be a little bit more objective on my decision. I think it looks like a good design. I'll say here. You know what? Okay, I think that is the entire list because I actually, if I'm being honest, I didn't know that these were in these were starters in games. So, but before I wrap it up, let's actually rank what I think is the best designed Mega Evolution. So this automatically cuts off a lot of Pokemon, right? Um, like the Empoleon, like Generation 5, no, Generation 4. Uh, I think, okay, let's actually just go through this one by one. We have, I think Charizard Y looks much better than Charizard X, in my opinion. We also have Blastoise. This is a strong contender. We have Meganium. It looks pretty interesting. We have Relegator. Not a contender in my opinion. I just don't. This looks kind of goofy. Mega Sceptile. I would move this up the most. I think this looks fire. Blaziken. Okay, you can tell me that Blaziken is a better designed Mega Evolution than Sceptile is, but the problem is that I would disagree with you based on the fact that this actually looks very much like this. Like there's not much difference, right? I think it looks kind of similar. Where Sceptile, Mega Sceptile improves on the Sceptile's design by a lot, right? Like this looks pretty basic, but it adds a lot of extra colors and stuff to it to make it look much better. So I think Mega Sceptile is definitely a better design than Blaziken, Mega Blaziken. Yeah, I would even go so as to say this is actually the second weakest. I don't know why I'm again up here actually. Um, Mega Ambor. No, I don't think so actually. Mega Chestnut. No, I don't think so. Mega Dull Fox. Nope. Mega Ninja. If I'm being honest, no, I don't think Mega Ninja is actually the best. What else is there? I think that's all. Based on this, I would say Mega Septal is the best, so we can put him up here. Followed by Mega, what's his name? Charizard Y. I think he's probably, yeah, I think Inferno is better than Blaziken. Yeah. Followed by Blastoise, who is just after him. And then Mega Blaziken, I think, is not actually on the list. Yeah.